everybody. We're gonna thanks. My sound guy. We're gonna start with Hine Matov on page 1. Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. La 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. La 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 la. Hine Matov U'Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov U'Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Or Ami, whether it's your first time or your 101st time. And I'd like to give a special welcome to Church of the Redeemer from Mechanicsville that's here with us tonight. And what else am I saying? I'm Nancy Nelson, for those of you that don't know me, and I'm filling in for Rabbi Ahuva, who is homesick right now. So forgive me if I make any mistakes or whatever. At this time, I would like to call up Pat Doniger to do the candle blessing, which we will be on page 2. Top of page 2.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, Pat. So now we have some simcha sharing. So if you've had any exciting news or anything you're grateful for that happened in the past week or so, we would love for you to share with us. Yes.
My little lemon tree gave me 2 lemons. I still have 2 more to go.
Yay.
My harvest.
I need to learn your secret. I've had one for 3 years, 4 years, and
5
nothing.
years now.
Okay.
A little bit longer.
Yep. Anybody else? Yes.
Well, last night we, as a member of the Jewish Community Center Art Gallery Committee, I and my committee hosted a wonderful art exhibition called Witness and Hope, and it's an emotional, curated photographic exhibit by members of the Richmond community who traveled to Israel post-October 7th in 2023. And
And there are several Orami members represented in the show.
Yes, yes. My husband being one of them.
Yeah.
And Russ Jennings is in the show, too. Do you know anybody else?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think there were some others. Anyway, anybody else got something to share? Yay. That's awesome. Anybody else? All right. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. And now let's join for Lachado D on page 3. Lechadoti lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoti lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoti lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ol tiferet v'litila. Lechadodi P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lekrat Shabbat lechuvenelcha ki hi makor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari kiva orech gumi ori shir daberi kavod Adonai alayach nigla. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise and welcome the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shala ateret bala bam v'simcha u'tzohala toch emuneh segula boi chala Lechadodi lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekrat kala Shabbat nekabela. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. And now together, the Baruch Hu. Seated. And please join on page 5 with Roll into Dark. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day beams to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Pray yom v'layla, golel or pnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated, and we'll continue with the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kadoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. And please join in for the Michamocha on page 7. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Micham Chabai Imadonai Michamocha Nedar Bakodesh Naratahil Fele Naratahil Osefele. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. And now we're join in with for the Vashamru on top of page 8. Vashamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat laso ded ha-Shabbat l'doratam berit olam. Vashamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'doratam berit olam. Veini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. B'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'doratam berit olam. Kisheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim et haaretz. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'doratam berit olam. V'ayom hashvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a broken will. And we were on page 8 for the Amidah, at the bottom of page 8. Please rise when you are ready and join in the Amidah. Sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Imahot, V'mevi Geula L'bnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Yahweh, Melech Ozer Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ezra Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umasniach Yeshua, Ne'eman atah l'chayot ha'kol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'kol. And we pause. You may be seated, and we pause for a moment of silent prayer or reflection. On page 10, the Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lecho hashalom. Shalom Ra, Yisrael Amcha, Im leolam. Shalom Ra, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi leolam. Tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Leolam. Tasi Leolam. Tasi Leolam. And at this point in our service, we ask for healing, and we would like special prayers for Marilyn Breslow, Alyssa Freeman, Ron Friedman, Jonathan Prupus Kern, and Alex Simon. And if you have anyone that you'd like to add, please.
My sister Debbie Markel,
Don Beck, Julie Fisher,
Eric Eagleman,
Steve Parker,
Yes.
our Macedonian, Gary Patterson, and our very good friend Nancy Salzberg.
Anybody else? And Rabbi Ahuva. And please join in the Misha Berach on page 13. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha liavotenu, as those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. This week's Torah portion, Ki Tavo, begins with the gratitude ritual. The Israelites are instructed to bring their first fruits to the temple and express their gratitude for all that God has done for them. They are also taught to share the bounty of their crops with their landless Levites and the poor among every tribe. This gift is called a tithe, or ma'aser, and equals about 10% of their bounty. Later in this Torah portion, we see, as we have seen in other portions, a list of blessings that the Israelites would receive if they follow the laws of the Torah, as well as a list of curses that would befall them if they choose to ignore the law. Throughout this Torah portion, we find an underlying theme of motivation. Some people are motivated to act out of gratitude, some out of fear, and others out of hope for future blessings. So tonight, instead of a typical sermon, let's have an interactive discussion about motivation, especially as it relates to gratitude, fear, and blessings. When have you felt the most grateful? Did that gratitude motivate you to give back in some way? And feel free to answer. Ron? Wait. Thank you, Terry.
Reader and runner.
Phil Donovan.
I would say I feel the most gratitude for unexpected blessing.
Anybody else? Nobody's has gratitude for anything. It's not that bad.
I feel gratitude whenever I'm really paying attention to the moment.
I feel gratitude for a smile on a dog.
Work
I feel gratitude for the community when they come to support someone in need.
And so did that gratitude motivate you to give back in some way? Any of you all that answered, or anyone else?
He spoils his grandchildren. I feel gratitude like after a hard time. So when times are tough, I'm like, ugh, and then it's over, and then I'm happy it's over, and I'm so glad it's over, and I feel like that helps me to give other people more grace when they're having a hard time. I feel like that's not necessarily giving back, but that's my way of being like, okay, well, let's use the gratitude for good, and maybe they're going through a hard time, and let's give them,
Okay.
grace.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I think I like giving unexpectedly as much as I like receiving unexpectedly. And it's that sort of ripple effect that, like, how an action, one good action, can really ripple out. And you may not even know, like, where it's going to go next. And so there's that really organic feeling of when you give something when somebody isn't expecting it, that you actually, I feel like I get more gratitude from that, being able to do that, and hope that that will move that energy out into the universe.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you. Next question. What has motivated you to do social justice? This could be the result of a memorable experience of injustice or someone that's influenced you to do social justice. Dave? Wait for the mic.
Okay, well, I was born in '49, and I grew up, through the '50s and the '60s, and witnessed the civil rights movement, and my mom was like involved, my dad, in a lot of those issues. So that was a big motivation for me, just seeing the injustice and then seeing people do something about it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, as you know, we have this congregation has sponsored an Afghan family, and they have been very self-sufficient. And right now, they're not getting their security deposit back. They've left town, and anyway, we're working with the Virginia Legal Aid Society, and we're going to sue the landlord. So anyway, we are pursuing justice. And they're going, no, we just want to hide under the covers and we'll pay them. I'm going, no, we got to go fight for every tenant that's being abused by unscrupulous landlords. So anyway, that's our latest action.
Anybody else? And so that question sort of evolved out of, before service tonight, we had a Risk House meeting, and that was one of the questions. We actually didn't get to it, so that sort of worked to do it now, but we would love to have more participation. But Risk, if you're interested in social justice, Risk is your organization. Huh? You want me to talk? You want to talk about it? They're tired of hearing me talk.
All right, well, our guests from Redeemer happen to be members of Risk also, so you all can correct me. But we've been working on affordable housing, and through Risk and the pressure we've put on Richmond City Council, we have put some meat on the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and
GVI.
Well, wait, first, and sought a regular funding stream for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, so that the huge shortage of housing stock is going to grow. because of this effort. And then GVI is gun violence intervention, where the member congregations of risk, which are over 24 congregations at this point,
Something like that,
have
yeah.
been pushing for ways to find a creative way to stop the violence. And we've gone to the Gabby Giffords organization, and the John Jay School of Law, and they've done a research-based program that's being implemented in other cities. And Hopewell has implemented it and seen a real reduction in gun violence. And so far, all the mayoral candidates for Richmond City are saying they will support it. So anyway, so join
Did you-
risk. Join us.
Did you mention healthy homes? You're probably better than I am, but healthy homes is the third issue, and that is in Southside, there are a lot of the mobile homes that are in horrible disrepair, and it's getting funding to repair or replace them. And so far, I think 21 homes have been done, and there's several more in the works, but we want a whole lot more than that. That's what the 71, I think, that we have funding for or have already been done are, 10% of the total, I think, that need to be. So we're trying to get more funding into that. And we've seen videos, and we can probably get to you if you wanted to have access to seeing the before and after, and it's amazing the change. But these are homes that are infested, they're mold, kids are getting sick, and they stay home from school because they're sick from the mold, and where they stay home? In the mold-infested home. So it's just this horrible situation. All right, and last question, what blessings do you hope for in the future? Ron?
For a ceasefire in Israel and for the Middle East situation to become 1,000,000 times better than it is now.
For the hostages to be freed and come home in whatever condition they're in at this point. Anybody else? All right. Thank you, everyone. And now we'll go to the Elenu on page 14. Or do we do, announcements first. You can do announcements, sorry. It wasn't on my outline, it's just in the book.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Terry. My name is Terry Halpern, I'm a member of the board. I'm going to give you some announcements. So welcome to everyone. So tomorrow there's an Odie outing. That's very exciting that the youth group is restarting.
Odie's been pretty much dead for 2 years, and we've got 8 kids going.
So that's great. So great bowling. That's something to celebrate. Then Sunday evening is Real Theology. You can talk to Ron after services about what's going on. Sure. Yeah, of course. I think those are big announcements. Of course, High Holy Days are coming up. We always need help. We need help moving stuff from here to the JCC. We need help with baking honey cakes, apple cakes. It's in the weekly email. So if you want to help out in any way, everyone would of course welcome you. Okay, Ron.
Anybody who doesn't have access to the electronic bulletin, the film this Sunday is the story of the life of Abraham Joshua Heschel, probably one of the most influential Jewish people of the 20th century. He was profoundly involved in the civil rights movement, in the anti-Vietnam War movement, and he was responsible for the Catholic Church for having finally stopped telling the lie that Jews had been responsible for Jesus, the death of Jesus, which of course led to most of the anti-Semitism in the world. So he had a fascinating life. He was a Hasidic. He grew out of the Hasidic tradition. He was well educated in Berlin at just the wrong time, and all of his family perished in the Holocaust. He was the only one who survived, and that was because he happened to be in America on a scholarship when things got really bad in World War II. So it's at 5 p.m. There's no charge. There's a potluck beforehand. If you don't want to come to the potluck, you can just show up at 5:30, which is about when we start the film. It's a really great film. I've watched it twice, as I do every film.
All right. Thank you, Terry and Ron. And now we will do the Elenu. On page 14, please rise. Do we need to open the ark? Elenu l'shabeh l'adon hakol l'ateit kula l'yotzer b'reshit shelo asam ki yaratzon v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam k'havinu kahem v'kol aleinu v'chol hamonam v'anachnu horim u'mishtachonim u'molkim l'fnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech chol kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. And at this time, we remember those people who are no longer with us. And we especially remember Jay Bison, longtime member of ORME, Robert Fierstein, cousin of Renee Gould, Antonia Foote, grandmother of Sarah Foote, Robert Heller, brother-in-law of Beth Jones, Suzanne Hurt, longtime member of ORME, Harry Kramer, family of Nancy Rochlis, Roberta Amos Lutz, sister of Beth Levine, Eleanor Miller, mother of Martin Miller, Martin Nordlinger, father of Joanne Nordlinger, Ann Presser, cousin of Judy Katzen, Joan Rubin Schoens, mother of Dan Siegel, Seymour Simon, father of Alex Simon, Patricia Warhurst, aunt of Beth Jones, Helen Wires, mother of Jenny Engler, and my grandfather, Walter D. Nelson Sr. Anyone have any names to add to that? Yes. Thank you. Anybody else? And we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 15. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah b'amad divra chirutei b'amilich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechal beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach li'olam alamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei dekudsha b'rechu. La'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma, v'yimru, amen. Mehesh lama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, V'yimru, amen. And we will conclude with the Oseh Shalom on the top of page 16. You may be seated. Shalom b'mamav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please join us in the back for Kiddush and Hamotzi.